I knew that this will be the last time I'll be writing, I'll be getting to write mains. So I didn't want to leave any stone unturned. In my last attempt, I put faith in you and your guidance, and it was probably the best investment I made in terms of time. So I wanted a timetable and I wanted a routine. Maybe that is what is missing. A dedicated guidance by someone who has seen it over the years, who's analyzed it and who is doing their own due diligence, which is you in this case. I was also telling you कि I wish I had learnt about level up earlier. तो मैं अगर मेरे पास time और attempts होते तो आपके पूरे foundation batch के लिए मैं enroll करती. अब I think I am not the right person to answer this.
She was not just a student. She is still an officer. Since she belongs to IRS cadre and she is assistant commissioner. So even if she gets exhausted.
With your lectures, in fact, आप हर topic का PYQ उसी time class में करते थे and you would time it also. यहाँ पे आप watch start करते थे and you would ask us to write. I was also one of those students. आपने बहुत red mark से लिखा हुआ था.
So very good afternoon, guys. Today is a very special day. We don't have just an aspirant with us. Today we have an officer with us. Shobhika Pathak is Assistant Commissioner Income Tax in Delhi. And this attempt, she has secured rank 37. And now she is going to get the IAS service which she aspired for. And what could be better than having the most coveted rank in the last attempt, okay, especially when it was not expected, because nobody usually expects. So such things come unexpected, and that's what makes those things very, beautiful and surprising. So Shobhika will keep it Q&A. I'll ask you firstly, why did you opt for sociology as an optional?
So I have done BTech as my graduation, and I have no background in humanities. After 10th, I had taken the usual physics, chemistry, maths. So when I decided that I'll be appearing for civil services, I looked at the syllabus of all the optional subjects, in fact, including electrical engineering, which was my bachelor subject. I felt that the commonsensical way of approaching the exam would be to pick up a subject which will help you in other subjects as well, because one does devote a considerable time to their optional subject while preparing. And if there's any overlap which will help me in, let's say, essay or GS1 or other subjects, in fact, ethics also. So I felt it would just make my preparation more streamlined and easier. So that's why I decided in favor of sociology, because sources are also available and the syllabus is not as complicated and not as technical, because it is society and we live in the society, so we can talk about it, we can write about it. So I decided to go in for sociology.
Okay. And now coming to what we call as your journey with respect to sociology, what were the kind of struggles that you think you were facing initially that you somehow managed to overcome this time? What could be the possible struggles?
All right. So first and foremost, the struggle is getting the right guidance. Because I think a good mentor or a teacher will not only tell you what to study, but also what not to study. And I think knowing what you should avoid, what are the sources that you should not waste time on, that's more important, because then you just confine your preparation to the credible source. And if you put your faith in one mentor or a teacher, that also increases your confidence, that if you're following everything that your teacher is telling you, then maybe you're on the right path. So that was one, finding the right guidance and finding the right mentorship. And which is why I think in my last attempt, I put faith in you and your guidance, and it was probably the best investment I made in terms of time and faith, because I knew that this will be the last time I'll be writing, I'll be getting to write mains. So I didn't want to leave any stone unturned. So whatever you used to say, आप जिस तरह से बोलते थे कि you can make some diagrammatic representation or avoid quoting too many thinkers or write many dimensions, point form में लिखो, paragraph form में मत लिखो. I would listen to that and follow it to the T. So I think इस बार I was a good student. I would say, like, I followed my teacher and my mentor, and that's what I think made the difference, because in earlier attempts, I was just looking for different sources and sort of trying to come up with the best answer. And best answer would be too many thinkers or very complicated, too many jargons here and there. So I think that's what just complicated my preparation, because in the examination hall, if I would be writing an answer and मुझे उस समय लगता था I should be quoting a thinker, मुझे thinker क्यों नहीं याद आ रहा है, because मेरे notes में तो thinker लिखा हुआ है. So that would just make one anxious also. And I think अब आपने इतनी बार emphasize किया हुआ है, and generally also now people are slowly realizing that optionals are not just about thinkers. Optional is your view of the topic at hand. So ये मैंने इस बार काफी follow किया. आपकी advice भी थी to use thinkers judiciously and wherever relevant only there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So see, guys, this is very important point that she just made. Don't correlate optional with thinkers. Okay, I mean they are related to some extent, but you can't assume thinkers to be overpowering the subject as a whole. Subject is there to make you understand few things from a different perspective, in depth, that you are not usually accustomed to looking at. And thinkers only play supportive role. That's in that sense, they are not the lead actors, they are supporting role. Perspectives are always bigger than those thinkers, and that's what she says that she tried to inculcate in her answers. And now Shobika, if you could talk about some of the basic issues with answer writing, now that you have experienced this whole idea of how to go about writing and what fetches marks, and what does not really fetch marks, if you could write that, that will be very helpful for many students. What not to do in answer writing, let me put it this way. So if you were to write an answer to this question, how would you approach it? Specifically in sociology.
From a sociological point of view, if I have to ask,
You don't have to write sociology here. You just have to write with respect to sociology subject. What not to do in answer writing of sociology questions.
all right, sir. So one would be not to wait for 2 weeks before the exam or 1 month before the exam to start writing answers.
Okay.
Whatever topic you have read, start writing PYQs of that
Start
topic.
writing PYQs early. Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
So second would be to write in point format and have an example. Try to have an example at the end of every point.
Okay. So avoid too many paras.
Yes.
Fine.
Third would be always have a conclusion, because ending your answers abruptly will just give the examiner also a feeling that probably you didn't do justice to the question.
Okay. Don't finish your answer without conclusion.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And also not make it GS like, because in GS the general understanding nowadays, something which is also working in GS is a diagrammatic representation. But I think in sociology they expect a more nuanced understanding and a bachelor level understanding of the subject from us. So one cannot just save time and effort by making a gola and like do it at places. Let's say for a 10 marker you can do that if you have a space constraint, but for a 20 marker or a 15 marker, if you just because you don't have enough content, don't just go in for a generic diagram with generic points.
Very nice. So she is saying that don't make diagram just for the sake of making one. Okay. Just because someone told you that you should make it diagrammatic does not mean that you start putting arrow here and there and leave it to the intellect of examiner to understand on his own. तो he may get frustrated कि भाई कहना क्या चाहते हो, क्योंकि कभी कभी समझ नहीं आता डायग्राम,
Yes.
हम तो बना के आगे उसको समझ नहीं आता. So don't overdo unnecessary diagrams or flow charts. I mean, even if you're doing them, please make sure that the third person or second person is able to comprehend the same. ऐसा ना हो वो सिर्फ आप ही को समझ आ रहा है.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Anything else
Sir-
with respect to number of thinkers?
Yes, sir. Use thinkers judiciously.
Yeah. Don't flood your answer with thinkers. Fine.
And so lastly, I don't know if that works or not, but I have always tried to use at least examples or issues of paper 2 and paper 1 and of paper 1 and paper 2. Like
Okay.
paper 1 issues not so much, but if you're writing a paper 2 answer, then maybe here and there a point of view of, let's say, Max Weber can help. So that way you can establish a correlation between the two papers only when it is required.
Very nice. So wherever possible, try to find interlinkages between the two papers. That way, examiner will definitely find your answer very interesting, because he would then somehow feel that you have greater level of understanding. That is why you're able to connect. So try interlinking wherever applicable.
Yes.
Fine. Interlinking paper 1 and 2. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when it comes to what we call as knowing things and writing things, how do you feel they are too different from each other? Like if you know about historical materialism
Yes.
of Karl Marx.
Yes.
Okay. But if you were to write historical materialism, how do you think both would become different?
Yes. That's actually a good question.
Mhm.
Because जब हमें समझना होता है, so the way you explain it, or when someone reads a material, their understanding of it, versus when they have to reproduce that in the paper, these are two different things.
Yeah.
So I personally feel कुछ keywords तो पता होने चाहिए,
Okay.
because your answer cannot be very generic.
Mhm.
Yes, you can write your own point of view, but at the same time कुछ keywords जो उस topic के लिए relevant हैं,
Hmm.
जैसे modes of production
Very
is relevant. So वो आपके अगर आंसर में नहीं है,
Hmm.
then the examiner might feel that you've not addressed the core demand of the question.
Very nice.
So knowing keywords is important.
Hmm.
Secondly, time management and space management is important.
Very nice.
Space management also.
Okay.
Making your answer look legible and at the same time, I used to do this, have a very current example of an issue.
Okay.
So anything current affairs से अगर आप उस चीज को link कर सकें,
Mm-hmm.
historical materialism को, like you used to always talk about fast fashion industry
Mm-hmm.
or other things, call centers में जो attrition rate है,
Yes.
these kind of things if you can quote, then it also shows that it's not just a history topic that you're writing, you're also trying to show its relevance in today's world, today's society. So maybe that can also enrich your answer a little bit.
Very nice. So that means between knowing and writing, there is a process called as thinking. And until you think about what you know more deeply, you can't know about the examples which are relevant to that thing which is known to you now. And that is more known to you actually, the more you know about examples. जितना आपको समझ आ रहा है रिलेशन आज की दुनिया में, उतनी वो थ्योरी स्ट्रांग हो रही है, उतना ही राइटअप में भी पॉइंट्स ऐड होते जाएंगे. एंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू टाइम मैनेजमेंट एंड स्पेस मैनेजमेंट, so time management, तो we simply understand कि that given the time constraints that we have to write a paper in 3 hours, which means we end up with having 8 minutes for 10 mark question and approximately 11 to 12 minutes for a 20 mark question. Now, you practice time management when you start writing. You then realize that most of your initial time is gone into thinking and then flooding your copy with some things which may be unnecessary. Okay, and that comes with practice and evaluation. You get feedback and then you realize, okay, this was unnecessary, I could have eliminated this, could have saved my time. And this comes parallelly, space management. Okay, because these two are very much related to each other. जितना space आप manage कर रहे हो उतनी time भी आप साथ साथ manage कर रहे हो. Keywords, did you have any short list of keywords, Shobika?
Yes, sir, I would. In fact, आपके जब मैं lectures देखती भी थी तो you used to, there were certain terms जो आप repeat करते थे कई बार. So I had written them down कि मैं वो, if I can call them jargons या फिर abbreviated forms जैसे HUCM, हिंदू अपर कास्ट मैन वुड बी समथिंग जो मैंने सोचा ही था कि ये एक डायमेंशन, बिकॉज इस एक चीज में हम बहुत सारे स्ट्रैटिफिकेशंस दिखा रहे हैं सोसाइटी की. सो दैट इज अ गुड कीवर्ड टू हैव इन योर आंसर. इट शोज कि आपने एक ही पॉइंट में काफी इश्यूज एड्रेस कर दिए हैं. सो आई यूज टू मेक अ नोट ऑफ दीज कीवर्ड्स और मैं एग्जाम से पहले इनफैक्ट वो कीवर्ड्स ही दिमाग में रखती थी, बिकॉज पूरा आंसर तो आपको एग्जाम से पहले आप रिवाइज कर नहीं सकते. सो जस्ट अ लिस्ट ऑफ दीज कीवर्ड्स और एग्जाम्पल्स or certain theories that you can just have a ready reference material. I used to keep a list of that.
Yeah, so you should have a list of keywords specific to the area that you are studying, and that keyword list gets developed over a period of time. Okay, it can't develop in one reading, right?
Yes, sir.
So you need to have multiple reading and good level of understanding so that you know what keyword is gonna fetch you more mark than other, because we end up writing some general keywords as well thinking that they are important. So legible answer. Now legibility, how do you define this, Shobika?
सर आई थिंक इतना ज़्यादा लिखना होता है एंड सोच के भी लिखना होता है. एज यू राइटली पॉइंटेड आउट, आई मिस्ड इट. सोचना पड़ेगा पहले क्वेश्चन के बारे में. यू जस्ट रीडिंग द क्वेश्चन एंड स्टार्ट राइटिंग, वो वाला अप्रोच हमेशा सही नहीं होता है, बिकॉज यू हैव टू टेक अ मोमेंट एंड थिंक कि पूछा क्या गया है और जो पूछा गया है वही लिखना है. दिस वॉज समथिंग जो आप बहुत एम्फेसाइज करते थे कि तुरंत मत लिखना शुरू करो, पहले सोचो और एक बार दो बार पढ़ोगे तो आपको सच में समझ आ जाएगा कि what is the actual demand of the question. तो वो सोचने में 1 मिनट अगर आपके 30 सेकेंड्स जा रहे हैं तो मेरे लिए टाइम वुड ऑलवेज बी अ कंस्ट्रेंट. तो कभी कभी मेरी हैंड राइटिंग थोड़ी सी ऐसी हो जाती थी कि मेरे अलावा शायद किसी और को समझ ना आए. एंड आपने मेरे जो भी पेपर्स चेक किए उसमें यू यूज्ड टू मेंशन कि ज्यादा कट्स मत डालो. डोंट हैव टू मेनी कट्स. ट्राई टू अंडरलाइन द इम्पोर्टेंट कीवर्ड्स. ट्राई टू हैव स्पेसिंग इन बिटवीन योर लाइन्स. ये आपका बहुत कोर एम्फेसिस होता था हमेशा कि स्पेस दे दे करके लिखोगे, छोटा छोटा प्यारा प्यारा लिखोगे, इज व्हाट यू यूज्ड टू से, तो अच्छे मार्क्स आएंगे. सो लेजिबिलिटी, हाँ, तो लेजिबिलिटी मतलब छोटा कंटेंट बट बड़ा फॉन्ट साइज एंड विद लाइन स्पेसिंग वाज समथिंग दैट यू रियली एम्फेसाइज्ड ऑन. So legibility is very important and that also will develop. Slowly you will learn to balance time with decent handwriting and good enough points. So legibility मेरे लिए तो थोड़ी बहुत प्रॉब्लम थी, because इतना मतलब thumbs पे भी वो पेन का निशान बन जाता है इतने questions लिख ले, इतने answers लिख लिख करके. But one must be careful about your answer being good to read, good to look at.
Okay. Shobika, did you refer current affairs for sociology, and if yes, to what extent? If no, then why not?
So all my current affairs preparation was confined to जो आप बताते थे, and आप in fact you used to make videos. If I'm not wrong, it was not just limited to the students that were enrolled with you. बहुत वो freely available YouTube पे भी होते थे, and you would give us नोट्स अबाउट द करंट अफेयर्स इश्यूज जो आपको लगते थे इंपॉर्टेंट होते थे, तो मैं उसी पे फोकस करती थी. बाकी फॉर डेटा सेक और मे बी फॉर अ गुड एग्जाम्पल सेक, सोशल इश्यूज इफ वी प्रिपेयर फॉर मेंस इन पेपर 1, उसके कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स मैं जरूर कोट कर देती थी. एंड इनफैक्ट पेपर 1 में मैं सोसाइटी के बहुत, हमारे सोशियोलॉजी के बहुत एग्जाम्पल्स पेपर 1 GS1 में कोट करती थी. सो वहीं से मेरी करंट अफेयर्स प्रिपरेशन, वट एवर यू फेल्ट, वट एवर यू considered important was my current affairs preparation, and nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, so that means we can safely say don't overdo current preparation for socio, है ना?
Yes.
Because Shobika, I know many students who would invest at least 1 or 2 hours of their everyday life on newspaper analyzing the items through sociological perspective, and they would also make a telegram channel for that. Okay, they would flood the channels with newspaper articles and then ask each other, how do you analyze this sociologically? So this
Yes.
exercise, I think, when it comes to examination, becomes very redundant, because by the time you appear for the exam, you would have forgotten everything whatever you had analyzed. The only core thing that would remain with you is the essence of the theory, and if that is there with you in your heart, you are ready to apply it any day. You don't have to practice it every day. It's like once you have learned driving, you don't need to practice it every day, right?
Yes, sir.
So don't overdo current prep for sociology. Now, now let us talk about your preparation with respect to crash course. How and in what way crash course do you think helped your sociology preparation?
So I got to know about Crash Course after I had cleared prelims, and मुझे ऐसा ही कुछ चाहिए था, which is just not test series, because test series is then my choice. मैं कितने dedicatedly test लिख रही हूँ, मैं syllabus के साथ साथ test लिख रही हूँ या फिर मैं last 2 weeks में answers लिखना शुरू कर रही हूँ. So I wanted a timetable and I wanted a routine and I wanted guidance, because I have never taken any classroom coaching for sociology. I used to पहले वाले attempts में I used to feel कि हो जाएगा, sociology ही तो है, like I will do it with my own caliber and understanding of the subject. But I felt maybe that is what is missing. A dedicated guidance by someone who has seen it over the years, who's analyzed it and who is doing their own due diligence, which is you in this case. So trusting and putting faith in that person, that credible source will obviously fetch me more marks. तो मुझे कुछ ऐसा चाहिए था जिससे मेरा रिवीजन भी हो जाए और जिससे मैं आंसर्स भी लिख रही होती हूँ डेली. सो विद योर लेक्चर्स, इनफैक्ट आप हर टॉपिक का पीवाईक्यू उसी टाइम क्लास में करते थे, एंड यू वुड टाइम इट ऑल्सो. यहाँ पे आप वॉच स्टार्ट करते थे एंड यू वुड आस्क अस टू राइट. सो उससे पीवाईक्यूज कवर हो रहे थे. इनफैक्ट हम लोगों ने बाय द एंड ऑफ इट मोस्ट ऑफ द पीवाईक्यूज कर लिए थे. So that's why I felt that, in fact, I was also telling you कि I wish I had learned about level up earlier. तो मैं अगर मेरे पास time और attempts होते तो आपके पूरे foundation batch के लिए मैं enroll करती, because crash course was just so relevant and useful for me. I felt that अगर किसी को, if someone is clueless about where to start, what to start, then they should definitely go for a credible source जो उनका base and foundation अच्छे से करवाएगा, which will help in every which way, whether it is answer writing or attempting questions in mains, even in interview. So in all the stages of the exam, I think putting faith in the right source helps. And crash course इसीलिए मैंने इस बार opt किया, because this was the last attempt and I didn't want to leave any chances. So that really helped. उससे एक routine बना रहा and turned out to be beneficial.
Thank you, Shobika. We'll also take some questions from students, online students. If you have any question, you may kindly start dropping your questions. And before that, I would also like to ask you, did you use ChatGPT in your preparation phase? And to what extent do you think it is helpful? And to what extent do you think it is not?
So with regard to sociology, I didn't.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to take chances. I felt that जो भी people who are correcting our answers are also college professors and they have a way of looking at things. And ChatGPT का भी format of answering is very standardized. पता चल जाता है कौन सा answer ChatGPT का है.
Yes.
I have used ChatGPT for other subjects. I have used it for essay. I have used it for GS papers, but not for sociology.
Okay.
Yes. Sir.
So that actually does make a difference, because many a times I have also personally realized that when I give prompt to ChatGPT, the answer that it gives are very general.
Yes.
And somehow they lack credibility, because the points that it is picking, the source of those points is actually Quora sometimes
Yes.
some other websites also. So they are not really authentic sources.
Yes.
That becomes a problem. Yeah, how many tests are sufficient, Mansi?
Sir, if I'm not mistaken, आपके crash course में there were 8 sectional tests, 6
Six.
sectional tests
Yeah.
and 2 full length tests.
Yeah.
I feel that is decent.
Mhm.
If one wants to practice, then PYQs पे ज़्यादा time दें. Like you can just pick up 2023 or 24 का paper and treat that as a full length test.
Mhm.
So I believe 8 to 10 tests, if you've done it properly, पूरा timer लगा के, if you've simulated your environment, if you can come to the center and write it well and good, but if you're doing it at home, then also simulate your conditions. But 8 to 10 tests is more than enough.
More than enough. Fine. Okay. What is better, writing point, point wise or in paragraph? What is the minimum number of points to be written in answer? Okay, हाँ. So this is very interesting question. या तो स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं ना शोभिका, either they ask how many number of thinkers or they ask how many number of points.
Yes.
So did you plan this or how did you go about this?
So I think जैसे आप बोलते भी थे बड़ा बड़ा लिखो, तो 5 पॉइंट से ज्यादा तो लिखने की स्पेस भी नहीं बचती है, बिकॉज इफ यू आर प्लानिंग टू सब्सटैंशिएट ईच पॉइंट विद एन एग्जांपल और मे बी पुट इन अ थिंकर वेरेवर रेलेवेंट, और एक इंट्रोडक्शन कंक्लूजन होगा, सो फॉर अ 10 मार्कर 5 पॉइंट से ज्यादा आप लिखोगे नहीं. एंड फॉर अ 20 मार्कर usually has 2 parts. So addressing 2 questions like that becomes 10 into 2. So
Okay.
उसमें भी 5 points is more than enough.
Okay.
If you're sticking to a point format, sometimes you can be flexible about it. If you don't have enough points, like I used to, obviously one does not have points for everything.
Yeah.
There could be questions जो बिल्कुल ही out of syllabus हैं, जिसमें you just have to attempt it because it is a compulsory question, वो 10 marks वाला. So इसमें if you don't have points, then examiner को भी वो repetitive लगेगा. Then just write in paragraph, I feel, and write whatever is relevant. But उसमें भी 5 points or maybe one paragraph of 2 to 3 lines followed by another paragraph like that. That is more than enough.
Very nice. So she's saying that if you have points, do write them. In case you don't, write in paragraph, but make sure that paragraph is not irrelevant. It is relevant to the demand only. एक क्वेश्चन इससे से रिलेटेड भी है नंबर ऑफ पॉइंट्स से. कभी कभी क्या होता है, इफ पीपल स्टार्ट रनिंग आउट ऑफ पॉइंट्स,
Yes.
they often start dropping critique,
Yes.
okay, which is not really asked exclusively,
Yes.
but there is a tendency among many students to then
Yeah.
start dropping critique. What was your?
I was also one of those students. आपने बहुत रेड मार्क से लिखा हुआ था, criticism was not asked, why have you written, why have you wasted your space and time. तो I was one of those students. तो एक आई थिंक जनरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग है सर सोशियोलॉजी ऑप्शनल के आंसर्स को अप्रोच करने की. इंट्रोडक्शन, बॉडी के बाद क्रिटिसिज्म, देन कंक्लूजन. ये एक जनरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग है एंड काफी लोग इसी को फॉलो करते हैं. कैन बी राइट ऑल्सो, बट अगर पूछा नहीं है देन ऑब्वियसली, अगर एग्जामिन वर्ड है तो एग्जामिन में यू नीड नॉट क्रिटिकली एनालाइज. सो क्रिटिसिज्म मैं तभी लिखती थी जब मेरे पास या तो टाइम होता था या फिर अगर पूछा गया है, और इफ आई वांट टू एंड माय आंसर ऑन अ पॉजिटिव नोट. So then negative अगर कोई question, if the tone of the question is negative, then obviously the body will be justifying those negative things. Then a critique is important to show the positive side. So I would write criticism more often than not only in those kind of questions where I want to end it, because I believe शायद आपने भी बोला था the conclusions should be futuristic and positive and not very depressing and negative.
Yeah.
So उसमें criticism obviously becomes important.
True, and especially जैसा उन्होंने बोला भी है, if the examiner has not asked you to critically examine anything, you don't need to then critically analyze all by yourself. Okay. And if you start following this approach in every question that you are writing critical analysis, then examiner may get confused that if the question is on critical analysis, you are doing it. If it is not, you are still doing it. Then how are you making or keeping the sanctity of these two questions maintained? तो वो आपको ध्यान रखना है. Don't just follow standardized pattern. Write according to demand. Okay, next question पे आते हैं. अभी, what should be in mind while choosing non-compulsory questions in real exam if you know the answer of multiple questions?
This happened, sir, this year because you had, I don't know how, predicted the questions. तो काफी questions के answers तो आते थे, especially in paper 2. Paper 1 तो अच्छा होता है. It's people are generally comfortable if they've done their static part well. But paper 2 is obviously dynamic and unpredictable. But इस बार with your notes काफी questions आ रहे थे and समझ नहीं आ रहा था कौन सा choose करें. So आपने in fact एक lecture भी लिया था just before the exam. In fact, in those 5 days that we get between GS and optional, where you told कि, or maybe you had discussed it on the Telegram group.
Yeah.
Telegram group कि किस टाइप से you choose the multiple three points वाले questions. So उसमें मैं वही देखती थी कि दोनों 20 markers में I should be comfortable. दोनों 20 markers में I should have above average content to write. That is what I used to go in for because 10 marker वाला वैसे ही थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी सा क्वेश्चन होता है. इट इज नेवर अ वेरी इजी और अ स्ट्रेट अवे क्वेश्चन. 10 मार्कर्स, इवन द कंपल्सरी वंस और इवन द ऑप्शनल वंस, जनरली थोड़े से ओपन एंडेड से होते हैं. सो आई यूज टू ऑलवेज सी कि मैं 20 मार्कर वाले में अबव एवरेज अगर आंसर लिख सकती हूँ, आई वुड गो इन फॉर दैट.
Very nice. So she's saying कि when it comes to making choices, with respect to non-compulsory question, सबसे पहली चीज ये है कि one should be comfortable with the two 20-mark questions to an extent that he or she is able to write at least above average. Okay, तो दो 20-mark question उसमें आपका थोड़ा सा अच्छा होना चाहिए. Second चीज जो I will add here is try to pick a question which is static. Okay, don't run after a question which is dynamic in the sense never been asked before in the history of UPSC, unless it is compulsory. That's a different case. Okay, but static should be chosen, not dynamic. Many students think that if they write a different question, examiner will get impressed. है ना, एक वो होता है हमारा बचपन की एक थिंकिंग होती है हमारी. ठीक है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Examiner is not there to get impressed. He just is there to check this many number of copies per day. So the process is very mechanical. Okay, like nobody's enjoying reading the answer. Everybody enjoys reading the books, not the answer sheets. So since process is very mechanical, don't overthink. Just hit the bullseye. सीधा स्टैटिक आप पिक करो, ज्यादा डायनेमिक के चक्कर में आपको नहीं जाना है. हर्षित कुमार, एज एन इंजीनियरिंग बैकग्राउंड, हाउ टू स्टडी interestingly socio, and what did she do when exhausted while studying, and how to be disciplined on daily basis? Okay, so see, as an engineering background, so I in fact asked her the same question initially, why did she choose sociology? And she clearly said that of course socio has a huge overlap with GS, and also she felt that those topics that are mentioned in the syllabus are very much relatable to her life as well, and in general as well. And so background does not matter, be it engineering or commerce or economics, as long as subject is relatable to you and you find interest in it. And second, what did she do when exhausted while studying?
Yes, so that's a good question. I mean, exhaustion तो आता है. There is a burnout also beyond the point जब आप attempts लिख रहे होते हो. There is a burnout. So उस time पे I would try to make my preparation interesting. कि मैं केवल books नहीं पढ़ती थी, कई topics में मैं videos भी देख लेती थी उनका. And if it is an animated video, then better. तो उसमें ज़्यादा attention उसमें ज़्यादा आप दे पाते हो. तो कई topics तो आप वैसे revise कर सकते हो या पढ़ सकते हो. So you can just try to make your preparation very interesting and dynamic in that sense, and take breaks. Definitely taking breaks helps. And I think I am not the right person to answer this. What should you do?
She was not just a student. She is still an officer. Since she belongs to IRS cadre and she is assistant commissioner. So even if she gets exhausted with studies, she would have many things to look after. So that is one thing that would somehow release her, or क्या कहते हैं, get her what we call as little bit of relaxation from the so-called load of studies that one would experience. Sir's prediction was awe-striking indeed, especially paper two. Especially paper two, yeah. So I don't call it prediction. So, but yes, PYQ analysis does help, and uh, in fact, this year I was focusing a lot on, as Shobika was also discussing this with me before session, on a thinker called as Andre Bete. Okay, so Andre Bete sir is very aged.
Yes, sir.
Okay, he is 90 plus now.
Yes,
Okay, still alive. And I had this fortune to meet him once.
Okay.
And that is why I read a lot about him, because he is the only Indian sociologist in our syllabus who I have met personally.
Okay.
So Andre Bete is very important for your exam, although he is there in your syllabus with respect to caste, but many a times examiners are asking many things about Andre Bete from other dimensions as well. So that's why I thought I should teach those aspects as well. And by chance, one of that question on agrarian structure came in the question.
I had messaged sir also. I had messaged right after paper 2. I messaged you sir कि मैंने तो verbatim आपके notes से लिखा है, especially paper 2 and lot of things, sir. I think circulation of elites is a topic of paper 1, but you told us which thinker, I'm forgetting the name, has given circulation of elites for Indian society.
Yeah, in Bihar.
Yes, so I have written that also in like I was talking about interlinkages. So I have written that example in paper 1 of circulation of elites. So sir's prediction, actually it was not prediction, because जब हम पढ़ रहे थे तो I used to also think कि sir ने कैसे कैसे topics पे इतना focus किया हुआ है and is this even relevant? But I confined my preparation to your notes only, और मैं उसी को exam के एक दिन पहले 2 दिन पहले मैं वही देख रही थी. 1 hour before the exam also I was looking at that only, and I think this time it just really worked.
Gajaman, importance of preparing own handwritten notes. Couldn't prepare own notes, so is it enough to rely on the class notes and topper notes for mains 2025? Basically, he's asking, should I make my own notes when all the notes are already available in the market?
I subscribe to the ideology of making one's own notes, because वो आपकी हैंडराइटिंग है, वो आपकी मसल मेमोरी की लिखी हुई चीज है, तो आपको ज्यादा just let's say if some topper has already made notes, so that's their understanding and perspective of the topic. Perfect. So you cannot, and sometimes notes तो short form में लिखते हैं हम लोग, we generally write keywords or maybe 2-3 words. So we can't just rely on that, because it has to be a full sentence while writing an answer. तो अगर आप खुद के notes बनाओगे तो आपको ये भी याद रहेगा कि आपके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा था जब आप वो notes बना रहे थे, how did you understand the topic. So मैं तो I would always rely on making ones. In fact, when you used to also take classes, sir, तो आप डिक्टेट जरूर करवाते थे, तो वो मेरे फर्स्ट हैंड नोट्स होते थे. उसके बाद मैंने सेकंड नोट्स भी बनाए थे उसी के शॉर्ट फॉर्म में. सो दे वर माय फाइनल नोट्स, बिकॉज आपके क्लास वाले नोट्स के बाद मैंने फिर अपना उसको 2-3 बार पढ़ के फिर फाइनल बनाया था, बिकॉज अदरवाइज इट इज अ थिक मटेरियल एंड जस्ट बिफोर द एग्जाम यू कांट रिवाइज दिस थिक अ बंडल.
राइट.
सो वंस ओन नोट्स इज ऑलवेज बेटर.
शोभिका ने एक बड़ी अच्छी बात बोली, मसल मेमोरी. इट एक्चुअली वर्क्स. वो होता है, आपके हाथ का लिखा हुआ ना आप ही को याद रह सकता है और किसी को नहीं. So do make your own notes. How to handle dynamic part of paper 2? Shivam, dynamic part, whatever it is, how did you handle?
So as cliche as it would sound, I mean, I relied on your notes because there's only so much one can do. मुझे हमेशा ही डर लगता था paper 2 से बहुत ज़्यादा, because paper 1 over the years I have been scoring decent. paper 2 में ही हमेशा मेरे कम आए. So I used to think कि कहाँ से prepare करूँगी, but after attending your classes and looking at your notes, I felt इतना भी अगर मैं कर लूँ, that is also more than enough. Because otherwise static चीजें तो हर कोई लिख रहा है, लेकिन आपके static portion में भी इतना अलग ही dimensions होते थे. I mean, G.S. Ghurye's understanding of Indian society, if you look at other, I wouldn't mention the sources, उनके answers, उस पर्टिकुलर बुक के आंसर या उस मटेरियल के आंसर्स वर्सेस जो आपने पॉइंट्स लिखवाए हैं, तो वो तो अलग ही लगते थे मुझे. तो आई यूज्ड टू फील कि ये अगर एक्स्ट्रा है, इफ इट इज बिल्डिंग ऑन समथिंग दैट आई ऑलरेडी हैव, देन आई नीड नॉट गो द एक्स्ट्रा माइल फर्दर. सो ऑल योर नोट्स वर माय प्रिपरेशन फॉर GS2. आई डिडंट डू एनीथिंग एक्स्ट्रा. Whatever you had focused on, and the static part जो हम बाकी सारे definitions वगैरह लिखते हैं, that was my preparation for paper 2.
Okay, Shubhi. What made her to score higher this time than her previous attempt? मानसी, एक्चुअली क्या है ना कि अभी हम स्कोर के ऊपर ना ज्यादा कुछ बोलेंगे नहीं, क्योंकि स्कोर अभी मार्कशीट इज नॉट आउट येट, ऑल्दो वी नो दैट शी हैज डेफिनेटली स्कोर्ड मोर देन हर प्रीवियस अटेम्प्ट, बट क्या है ना, ऑब्जेक्टिवली बोलना उसके ऊपर गलत हो जाएगा अभी, ठीक है। हम भी वेट करेंगे एक बार इनका मार्कशीट आ जाए, फिर उसके बाद। एंड वैसे भी इन्होंने जो भी डिस्कस किया अभी तक, आप सेफली मान के चलो वही चीजें हैं जो इन्होंने करी होंगी, और मार्क्स में भी शायद उस वजह से इम्प्रूवमेंट हो। सर, बिफोर ज्वाइनिंग IRS, हाउ मैम overcome on this? Honestly, beyond study point, there is some movement that feels very low. Okay, acha, yes. So if you could answer on that movement, how to overcome and how to be disciplined, yeah, as a person.
Yes.
वो जो movements आती हैं जहाँ पे आप लो होते हो, उस टाइम पे आप क्या करते हो to get back on track?
So in fact, after I had gotten selected, मैंने 2022 में एक attempt दिया था, and the first time when I got a rank, I was telling you also, I had 277 उस time पे, and I used to think that this attempt will be my final attempt, and 277 को मुझे बस 300 तक पहुंचाना है, and then I'll be sociology topper and my notes will be available in the market. I used to think that. So I worked hard. I mean, hard is my definition of hard. मैंने बहुत sources लिए, मोटा सा bundle बना लिया sociology का, answer writing उतनी नहीं की, and the worst happened that I failed to clear mains. So from 277 I dropped to 244, and that was a low for me because I used to think that maybe my objective skills are not that good, that prelims is something that I might fail at, but answer तो मैं लिख ही लूंगी, कुछ ना कुछ तो मैं लिख ही लूंगी, and the first mains I wrote I cleared, got a rank. So everyone around me also used to say that, okay, she's good with mains, she's good with mains. So I was overestimating myself and I was really overconfident, and when I failed to clear, definitely it was a very low moment. But in those times, I think you have to look at the larger picture and then be honest to yourself. मुझे पता था कि मैंने आंसर राइटिंग पे उतना फोकस नहीं किया है, सो आई कुडंट अफोर्ड टू बी सो सैड अबाउट इट बिकॉज आई न्यू वेयर आई हैड फॉल्टर्ड. So if you are honest to yourself in those low moments, then you can pick yourself back up faster because you know where you made the mistake. तो उन एरियाज पे अगर आप नेक्स्ट डे ऑनवर्ड्स, नेक्स्ट वीक ऑनवर्ड्स टेक अ ब्रेक एंड देन स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन दोज एरियाज, बिकॉज आई न्यू सोशियोलॉजी वाज माय वीकेस्ट इन दिस अटेम्प्ट. आई न्यू दैट मुझे सबसे ज्यादा काम सोशियो पे ही करना है. सो दैट बिकम्स द मोटिवेशन एंड द ड्राइविंग फोर्स. सो यू कैन सल्क फॉर अ वाइल बट देन इंट्रोस्पेक्ट and then move on and try to fix those things. That is a good enough thrust.
Yes, so she's saying that if you ever feel low, you should ask yourself what might have made you feel that. Okay, and until you work on that, you can't move over or overcome that feeling. So you can definitely sulk, as she said, for a while, but until you work on that major source, it's not going to, help you easily. So ma'am's resource for sociology.
सर पहले तो कोई गाइडेंस नहीं थी, सो माय सोर्सेज वर द बेसिक जो आई थिंक हर कोई पढ़ रहा है, एसेंशियल सोशियोलॉजी बाय नितिन सांगवान सर. वो थी एक बुक, उनके मैंने पूरी बुक ही हाईलाइट कर ली थी, फिर बुक के नोट्स बनाए थोड़े थोड़े. सो दैट इज डिसेंट, मतलब उससे आपका हर टॉपिक के ऊपर आप कुछ तो लिख पाओगे. नाउ इफ दैट कुछ इज सफिशिएंट, इफ दैट कुछ इज रेलिवेंट ऑल्सो, क्योंकि हर कोई अब एक ही डायग्राम बना रहा है कुछ कुछ आंसर्स में जो उस बुक में. यस सर, तो मतलब वेयर डू यू स्टैंड आउट? आपको कुछ ऐसा करना पड़ेगा कि जिसमें आपकी भी क्रिएटिविटी थोड़ी झलके. एंड लाइक यू राइटली मेंशन्ड, credible sources, I mean, I'm not doubting the credibility of any source, but sticking to IGNOU material or sticking to a credible source always helps. So पहला तो essential sociology था. उसके बाद I had picked up mains test series के synopsis of a lot of coaching institutes. तो मैं उनके आंसर्स देख रही थी और मैंने उनसे add on किया. तो ये मेरा बेस मटेरियल था फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम दैट आई गॉट थ्रू. उसके बाद से मैंने और बिल्डअप उसी में किया एंड आई फेल्ड टू गेट थ्रू इन दैट अटेम्प्ट. सो दिस टाइम आई थॉट आई विल यूज दैट सोर्स जो मेरा बल्की सा मटेरियल बन गया, वो मैं बहुत जुडिशियसली यूज कर रही थी. मोर रिलायंस वॉज ऑन सर्स नोट्स. इनफैक्ट ऑल द रिलायंस वॉज ऑन योर नोट्स. आई फेल्ट कि उसी को अगर मैं 5 बार पढ़ लूंगी, बिकॉज नोट्स बनाना बस होना इज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट, उसको रिकॉल करके लिखना इज मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. तो छोटे नोट्स बनाए थे मैंने आपके क्लासेस से, बट मैंने उसको कम से कम आई थिंक 5 to 6 टाइम्स रिवाइज किया था. And that is what I did differently this time. And I used to go back to my own thick material, but very very judiciously I would use जो topics crash course, because it was a crash course. You would not, आपके पास टाइम भी नहीं होता था to touch upon all the topics. So you used to tell us कि ये topics तुम लोग खुद से कर लेना. So उन सारी चीजों के लिए I would rely, but जो आप करवाते थे उसमें केवल आपके notes I would rely on.
Thank you, sir and ma'am, for answering. Best of luck, ma'am, and I'll be on that side hoping for best. Yes, we also hope for the same. Harshit, Gokul, as a person who relied on sir's crash course, I want to ask an advice from you. My base in sociology is sir's crash lecture, and my handwritten notes from it have not written test series. Any advice to approach after clearing prelims? After prelims, so I would say. Since you have not written test series or any test, you must start writing test right away after your prelims. And with those tests, you will get to know that what you know and what the examiner expects are these two same, or is there any difference between the two? And gradually you will, I'm sure, progress with the feedback that you get. Ma'am, I noticed you wrote test 1 on 26/8/2024. Okay. Did you watch test discussion to incorporate those suggestions, then wrote test?
No. I would always write the test first because I feel वो एक मुझे थोड़ा चीटिंग सा लगता था कि पहले ही मैं क्वेश्चंस देख लूं और फिर मैं रिवीजन कर लूं उन क्वेश्चंस का, एंड देन I should get highest marks in that particular test. So my endeavor would not be to top that test.
Yes.
My endeavor was to get good marks in the actual exam. तो वो पहले जितना भी लिमिटेड मेरे को नॉलेज होती थी उस टॉपिक की, मैं लिख देती थी टेस्ट, और फिर मैं सर के डिस्कशन वीडियोस देखती थी विच वर वेरी 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 हेल्पफुल, और अपने नोट्स में उनको भी मैंने ऐड ऑन किया था सर के पॉइंट्स को, तो उस पे फिर मैं बिल्ड ऑन करती थी. एंड जो फुल लेंथ टेस्ट होते थे उसमें तो फिर इट वुड बी अ कंसोलिडेटेड प्रिपरेशन.
Yeah, in fact, I would equally discourage this practice. You should not be watching discussion videos first and then start writing the test, thinking that anyway this practice will help you recall those things one day on the D-Day. So instead, this practice will eliminate your power to brainstorm on your own. Okay, because you will get so much dependent on the video or the guidance that without thinking of that you will not be in a position to write on your own. So this is very deteriorating of yourself. आप ये मत करो, आप क्वेश्चन देखो और सोचो, गलतियां करो, गलतियों से घबराना नहीं, उसके बाद डिस्कशन से जो आप सीखोगे वो रिफाइन करेगा आपके आंसर को डेफिनेटली. Okay, Shobika, so with this we will wrap up the session, and by the way, now we have one month left before prelims.
Yes.
If you could give any tip to the students for prelims, because you've consecutively cleared prelims. So क्या ऐसी चीज है जो बच्चे गलतियां कर रहे हैं prelims में, और क्या अवॉइड कर सकते हैं वो?
So I feel so much has already been said about the exam, तो ऐसा कुछ आउट ऑफ द वे एडवाइस नहीं है. द बेसिक थिंग्स, ओवर अटेम्प्ट ना करें, टेक वेरी वेरी कैलकुलेटेड रिस्क, बिकॉज द वे यूपीएससी इज गिविंग ऑप्शंस, ऑल योर चीट कोड्स एंड हैक्स हैव गॉन. मतलब अब आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. सो टेक वेरी कैलकुलेटेड रिस्क. जब आपको पता है कि आप सही हो एंड यू आर वेरी श्योर ऑफ द आंसर, ओनली देन अटेम्प्ट, because you get to write prelims after 1 year. So it's a big risk to take. So don't over attempt. Keep revising whatever you have read, because now is not the time to read new material.
Yeah.
If you'll read something new, तो आपको anxiety भी होगी कि मैंने ये नहीं पढ़ा, मेरे notes में ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है. So do full length tests. Now is not the time for any sectional tests. Do full length tests, and every day if you can do one full length test and one previous year question paper 2013 onwards, one PYQ, one FLT combined with a revision of a particular subject. ये आपका routine होना चाहिए for the coming 2 weeks. At the end of 15 days, I think one will automatically feel more confident about the preparation. तो यही अगर करेंगे, that should suffice, because otherwise keeping cool and calm is the only hack for the day of prelims. But if you do this, then I think you're more confident about your preparation.
Yeah. And I think most of the students spend a lot of time, disproportionate time on current affairs also
Yes.
for prelims. And as you know that as time approach, as prelims come near, people spend a lot of their time on current affair, thinking that this is going to make their chance of clearing prelims different than others. How much time would you spend on current affair if you were to give prelims once again?
Sir, I mean, I will not judge those people because I was also one of them. और वो उस समय लगता है कि places in news, ये वीडियो भी देख लो, ये सोर्स भी पढ़ लो, वो सोर्स भी पढ़ लो. So it's very human. अगर उनको ऐसा लग रहा है that they are spending too much time on current affairs, I have also done that. लेकिन one should stop beyond a point. तो कुछ sources तो मैं केवल वीडियो से ही करती थी. Now YouTube is so open source that there's so much guidance for anything. Even by Level Up, there are so many videos which are covering prelims topics, and मुझे अभी भी याद है काफ़ी चीज़ें मैंने यूट्यूब से ही की हैं, और फिर मैं उसको किसी और मटेरियल में नहीं ढूंढती थी उन सारी चीज़ों को. जैसे प्लेसेस इन न्यूज़ मैंने 2-3 वीडियोस देख लिए और बस उसके बाद मैंने उसी के नोट्स बना लिए, एंड दैट वाज इट. अब उसके बाद कोई और प्लेस इन न्यूज़ आएगी, देन दैट्स जस्ट हार्ड लक ऑफ माइन. उसमें फिर आई वुड नॉट फील बैड कि अच्छा मेरे नोट्स में ये नहीं था. सो वन शुड नो वेयर टू स्टॉप. वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है टू गेज, लेकिन वन मस्ट नो कि प्रीलिम्स में ज़्यादा चांसेस आपके फंडामेंटल क्वेश्चंस को गलत करने से आपकी चांसेस कम होती हैं. करंट अफेयर्स तो अगर मुझे नहीं आ रहा तो मे बी चांसेस आर दैट मेजॉरिटी बच्चों को नहीं आ रहा है. बट अगर कोई पॉलिटी के क्वेश्चन में इफ आई एम गोइंग रॉन्ग एंड एवरीवन एल्स इज मार्किंग दैट राइट, देन दैट इज समथिंग दैट शुड बी अवॉइडेड. सो कवर योर बेसिक सब्जेक्ट्स, उस पर ज़्यादा एम्फेसिस दें. लगेगा आपको एनालाइजिंग द प्रीवियस 2-3 years पेपर्स की शायद फाउंडेशन जो बेसिक सब्जेक्ट्स है उनसे कम क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं, बट ऐसा नहीं है. इवन द करंट क्वेश्चंस कैन बी कवर्ड विद द बेसिक क्वेश्चंस. ज्योग्राफी में बहुत एम्फेसिस है. एनसीईआरटीज वर वेरी मच इग्नोर्ड. 11th 12th NCERTs of geography, and when I was attempting the paper I literally sat and laughed at myself that ज्योग्राफी तो मुझे आती ही नहीं है, मैंने तो पढ़ी ही नहीं थी ज्योग्राफी, एंड द एंटायर पेपर वाज लुकिंग लाइक अ ज्योग्राफी पेपर. बट देन अगेन अगर आपने थोड़ी बहुत पढ़ाई की है, समवेयर एट द बैक ऑफ योर हेड वो चीज़ें होगी, एंड इट विल कम बैक टू यू, एंड यू विल हैव टू यूज लिटिल बिट ऑफ कॉमन सेंस एंड थिंग्स विल वर्क आउट. So cover your basic books properly and then only go to current, because current is so difficult to predict. कुछ भी questions आ रहे हैं, so make sure that your static is intact.
So with this we will conclude the session, and thank you guys so much for coming online and those students who are offline. And कोई भी आपका कोई ऐसा क्वेश्चन रह गया होगा, you can drop us the same question on our email. कभी हमें भी टाइम मिलेगा, we'll ask the same to Shobhika and forward the same. Thank you Shobhika for taking your time out, and I hope students आपको जो भी कुछ डाउट्स होंगे प्रिपरेशन को लेके वो सब क्लियर हुए होंगे. Thank you so much.
Thank you.